Okay, hi, so good morning, everyone. So I want everyone to think back to a time where you saw a magic trick. Whether it be on TV, a Vegas show, or just your friend showing you something cool. And it probably felt pretty amazing, right? You witnessed something incredible and your mind's in disbelief. But why is that the case? Why do we find magic tricks so appealing? So today, I will explore the psychology behind magic and illusion. So I wanted to start off with a live magic trick, but unfortunately, I was afraid not everyone could see it because it is very close up. So I put a video, and we can watch that. It's kind of a little variation on the 3-card Monty trick. So the original 3-card Monty trick is where you have 3 cards. Somebody tells you, keep your eye on this card, and he kind of mixes it up, and you try to keep your eye on it. So this is a bit of a variation on that. So in this trick, there's 3 cards. So somebody was doing this on me, and he told me, okay, look, I have 3 cards. I have a black and white joker, I have a second black and white joker, and I have a colored joker. And he told me the goal of the game is to keep your eye on the colored joker. So I said, that's not too hard. Now, as he said that, he actually moved the colored joker to the bottom like that, but I caught him. So then he asked me, where's the colored joker? And I said, well, I saw you. It's at the bottom. But he says, no, the black and white joker is at the bottom. But he said, you know what? I'm a nice guy. I'll let you try again. So I said, okay, well, is it at the top? And he says, no, black and white joker is at the top. But I'm a nice guy. I'll let you try again. So I said, well, if it wasn't at the bottom and it wasn't at the top, it has to be in the middle. But he says, no, black and white joker is in the middle. So at this point, I said, well, then you're cheating. You're using 3 black and white jokers. And he says, no, I'm not, because I have a colored joker at the bottom. And he says, and not only that, but I have a colored joker at the top, and I have a colored joker in the middle. So I'm fairly confused as to what he has at this point. And he says, actually, I was just joking. I actually have a black and white joker, a second black and white joker, and a third black and white joker. So I start to leave. He's clearly just messing around with me. And then he says, okay, I'll be completely honest with you. This whole time, I had a black and white joker, I had a color joker, and he asked me what I thought this last card was. And I thought it was a black and white joker, but then he tells me, actually, it was Ace of Spades. Thank you, yeah. So thanks. So I get the feeling, you guys enjoyed it. It was, you liked seeing it. The usual reaction I get when I perform this type of trick is like this. And it's true, magic is very powerful. It can make us feel like little children again, filled with the sense of awe and wonder. But how exactly does it do this? So I'll let you in on a secret. So magicians are playing with your mind. So we use subtle cues and suggestions to create a set of beliefs and expectations in your mind. So we lead you down a specific path, and then suddenly we amaze you by bringing in something completely unexpected. And it's so easy for us to bring in something unexpected because we know exactly what you're expecting. We led you down that path. So what's happening is that magicians are manipulating your perceptual processing system. And a lot of the time, this happens without you even realizing it. It can be in our body language, our choice of words, or even an accidental slip-up that we allow everyone to see. So specifically, magicians are making use of top-down processing. So top-down processing is this conceptual, theory-driven way of perceiving the world around us. So basically what it means is that our background knowledge influences our perception, that we view the world through this lens of pre-existing beliefs and expectations. And usually this is formed by our prior experiences with the world. So an example of this is this image here. So is this the letter B or the number 13? And it might be a little bit hard, but if I framed it like this, it becomes very clear this is the number 13. But if I were to frame it like this, it suddenly looks very clear that it's the letter B. But keep in mind that this is actually the exact same stimulus. It's the same combination of lines and angles, and yet we can perceive it in 2 completely different ways. So what's happening is that our background knowledge is influencing our perception. Because what do we expect to see between the letters A and C? The letter B. And the same thing works with the 12, 13, 14. So another example of top-down processing at work is in the way we recognize speech. So let's rewind a little bit and go over what I just said. So you probably heard me say the way we recognize speech, but I didn't. I actually said, the way we recognize speech. And I'm serious, it is recorded, so you can look at it. I did say the way we recognize speech, but you probably heard, something else. And why is that the case? Well, I had a picture of a guy talking here. The title of my slide is Top-Down Processing Influences Speech Perception. So your mind realizes, hey, you know what? It's much more likely for me to be talking about something to do with speech rather than, wrecking beaches. So your mind basically fills in the gaps for you. So again, your prior experiences with how the world works and what types of things are relevant with each other led you to believe I said one thing when in reality I said something completely different. So let's tie this back to magic now. How did I use top-down processing in my trick? Well, at the beginning of the trick, I gave you the impression that I had 2 black and white jokers and I had a colored joker. And this becomes your lens, your framework that you view the rest of the trick with. So although, you don't know what exactly I'm doing with my hands as I'm going through it, it never really occurs to you that I have anything but 2 black and white jokers and a colored joker. So when I do something to break this belief, such as by revealing the ace of spades, it's not just incredible, it's impossible. Your perceptual system becomes shattered. You witness something that your mind tells you couldn't possibly have happened, but you saw it before your very eyes. And the result is that you come to believe that what you witnessed must have been nothing other than magic. And I know a magician never reveals their secrets, but I'm going to reveal to you all today possibly the greatest secret in magic, which is there's no such thing as magic. And it's true because everything you see, no matter how incredible or impossible it is orchestrated in the real world under the same laws of physics as everything else. Magicians are just smart. They're taking this perceptual processing system that we all use every day, and they're manipulating it to trick our minds. So top-down processing is this mental machinery that we bring everywhere with us, and it is very useful. But the problem with it, we have to keep in mind that it can be exploited, and that is exactly what magicians are doing. So magicians, although magic cannot manifest physically, magicians can create an impossibility within our minds that contradicts all of our beliefs and our expectations. And that is why magic is so appealing. The real magic is in our minds. Thank you.